Hello there friends, Steve Tegus here. It's good to be back. I'd like to start by saying thanks for your cooperation. Thanks for putting up with me, thanks for listening. Sometimes I feel like I should apologise for the last video, but I don't know what for, I don't know who I've offended. Hopefully I've offended everybody equally. I'm here to entertain thoughts. That entertaining process might not always be amusement. As we say, the system, life, society is a bit of a joke. That's metaphorically, the joke isn't really an amusing joke. We might laugh at times, we might laugh at kind of the foolish ideas that we've pursued. We might get the punchline, but we know that it's kind of a serious joke that we live. It has the mechanics of a joke. And so I think, what's the point? I'm talking about pi, the centre. I am the centre of my circle, you are the centre of your circle. We are the centre of the tree, your spine is the pineal gland. I am on the cross, I am X marks the spot, the point is the centre of that spot. But when you're drawing a circle with a compass, whether it be facing north, east, south or west, or whether it's you drawing a circle with that compass, the point in the middle is invisible. So when you're looking for the point of something, you have to look for the circle. You have to look for the thing that's going round it, and you can see then the centre of that circle, but it's gone. And so when you're looking for the answer, and you look around you, you'll notice that there's a centre point there. And it's balanced, otherwise it'd fall over. It's so simple. And it's like, when we live in a society where it seems so normal to be obedient to the higher government, to initially be obedient to mother and father, and to be then obedient to mother and father state. These ideas bring us away from the centre, because the centre is now the flagpole. The centre is now the family, but the centre must at some point return to its centre, your centre, the centre. Now, as I'm making this video now, the centre between me and you is like this again, like this mirror, but it's a centre point. We create that centre point. What brings us to this channel? What brings me to choose these things that I say to the whole world? Why do I choose these things over other things? Because I feel that you, if you are similar in mind to me, and you're on a similar search, and you have a similar suffering at the stupidity of the system, and you can see it so clearly but others can't, then something's calling you. It may be just simply something that's always been there, like our kind of people from the past. We wrote books, we drew pictures, we made art, we made music, we hid it in buildings. We tried to remind ourselves for the future. If you come back to this life again, Steve, remember this. And then carving it in stone and trying to say, look, Steve, X marks the spot, you are on the cross. You are the point. You are the point. And when we are, and you and me are together, then we are the centre point of that. But you have to know where your centre is. And so all of the things that's out there, all of the things we're surrounded with, all of this cryptology, these clues, symbology, life, civilization, ideas, laws, scriptures, doctrines, it all comes in at us, and we feel like we need to follow it, and we're looking for proof, when there is no proof, because the proof was always in the pudding, not in the recipe. The recipe shows you how to make the pudding. It shows you the process of the ingredients, the time you need, the baking process, putting that pie together, and then the proof is in the pudding, because that pie should not only be perfectly round and level, but it should also taste great to everybody. It should have the ingredients for everybody in there. That's just as a metaphor. That's the point. But it's very difficult to bake that pie that we can eat together, to find out what we wanted to build as a project, when it's solely based on the problems and what's wrong and what's wrong and wrong, wrong and wrong, you see. And at the point where we can come to the problems, isolate them, say, okay, this is the problem, we need to take all of the problems, but not to give them too much weight or strength or emotion, to make light of them, to make fun of them, not to say that this person's evil, but maybe they've just ate a bad hamburger. This person's not been corrupt, he's just sick from something, you know. We don't need to actually cast a judgment on somebody to say that their actions reflect that of ill doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be very diplomatic and polite, because I'm not just speaking to people like me, I'm speaking to people like me who found themselves in office, found themselves in religion, found themselves in church, found themselves at the top of the power with no control, found themselves at the bottom of power with full control. All these different scenarios, you all different kind of people. And it's kind of crazy to think I'm even going to manage to get it across to any of you, but I don't think anyone will. And so I'm a pretty mad guy. I like languages, and I check this out and I check that out, and I share what I share with you, because it's essential to me that we talk about the things that affect us all, which is law, nationality, religion, health, communication, how we understand each other. There should be no such thing as immigration or migration and things like that. We should all have our own garden. So if anybody comes into my garden, that's a trespass. Because every man and woman has the rights to their own piece of space, in my opinion, on this planet. We can argue about that, but these are, for me, simple things that if someone's born onto this planet, then there should be a little piece of ownership there, shouldn't there? You know. But who do you claim it off? That, you see, that's the big problem. And you can't steal it, you can't take it wrongly, you know. So we have a lot of learning to do about becoming a society where we have trust in ourselves. You know, we've got far too much trust for these institutions that have set themselves up with logos and trademarks and sales pitches and public representatives, and, you know, these PR agents who are selling good ideas to you, trying to make the thing sound good. But when we get sold things constantly like this, with this sales pitch attitude in life, this advertising, then after a while we just lose faith in all of the products, because we're just getting sold things because obviously this company just want our money. This company just want our attention as a customer. I think customer is king. You're the one who brings the custom to the shop. You're the one who's come from the other side of the world to this static place to bring your custom. They should treat you like king and not expect you to be their slave, you know. So like, customer is king, but it doesn't mean to say they can just demand everything, of course, but they're there to be served as king. So you are king at times, but sometimes you're there to serve the other king or queen, of course. You know, so if we treat each other like kings and queens, then it might work. And these are the aspects I'm looking at. I don't know if I've actually got to the point of this video, but the point of this video to me is like, it's not about being intelligent. It's not about seeking these like this knowledge. It's about looking into someone else's eyes and saying, are they reflecting something that they see as a deeper wisdom to me? You know, they don't want me to eat the recipe, and they don't want me to just eat the pie. They want us, you know, you got to taste it for yourself. I don't know what I'm trying to say, folks. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Proof is in the pudding. You are the point. We are the point. You know, it revolves around the point. So what is the point? The point is where all things meet together and make sense. You know, the highest probability. You know, if you're going to bet and you get all the chips, put them on one thing because you're so sure, because you're not betting anymore. because all other options are out, but you still don't know for sure. It's still a risk because everybody else has scattered the chips all over the table, and you bet on this one thing. And the dice of life rolls, and it lands on your number, and you win that bet because it was known, you know, metaphorically. And you bet your life in this case. You know, so if we're looking at information, who to trust, who to prove, you know, who's evidence to trust, who's proof to have faith in. You know, is any other man, am I even worthy of telling you on my own channel to have faith and proof in what I say? But I capture your attention because I hold what I'm saying of absolute value enough to say at the end of this video, just think about whatever you want to think about for yourself. Take from my videos whatever you feel is worth you taking. Find it online, what I'm saying, and then share those ideas, because they're not my ideas. I've found all my information in a dictionary. I've found certain sources of the aspects I'm talking about from the legal system in German, English, American, Canadian, French, different legal systems which are connected in the Bible that's also translated in those languages. You know, so there's enough sources, but you have to prove it for yourself. And I'm just saying, you know, have a listen to me because I put a lot of effort in and not everybody does. But I'm not saying at all, believe me, take what I say as read. Because, you know, it's just make my life a lot easier just to say to you, you know, listen to me really carefully, take on board what I'm saying, because I'm working really, really hard at these aspects. While others are working hard at their aspect, I'm working really hard at this, and I appreciate if a lot of you do get a lot of aspects out of this video. Even the fact that I just speak so openly and talk and risk something. A lot of you see that it works. It's okay to do that. And that's another message that I want to put across. So the messages are not really always the intellectual messages or linguistical or any particular message. I hope to reach different people in different ways. So don't feel left out if you misunderstand or don't quite get something that I've said, because it's maybe just not meant for you. It's maybe meant for the musician type or the artist type or the legalese type or a totally different country. You know, if I was to speak German, it's not meant for English people, but it's not a secret. But you see what I mean? Everything has its usage. It's very difficult to talk to everybody on the planet at once and try and make one thing mean so much. And that's why I use particular simple things that are based in the things that we all know. To try and find the point, to try and find a common denominator, you know. Yeah, so like I say, you know, listen carefully to what I say, but then take what you find is important, check it out for yourself, see how you could apply it, and then share it with somebody else so that they can see the applicability of it. You know, for those of you don't know what at all I'm on about, I can fully understand that, and I will explain. But I think a lot of you, I think actually probably all of you understand a lot of what I'm talking about because it's very obvious. And a lot of people would say, well, that, you know, it's too obvious to be true. You know, but like I say, proof is in the pudding, and you are the pudding. All right, cheerio. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I appreciate all your contributions, support and everything. See you later.